to take their seats. This is the January 24th regular agenda meeting of the Union County Board of Chosen Freeholders. At this time, I'll call the meeting to order and ask the clerk of the board to please call the roll.
Freeholder Estrada.
Present.
Freeholder Garrettson.
Here.
Freeholder Granados.
Here.
Freeholder Hudak.
Here.
Freeholder Palmieri Muted.
Here.
Freeholder Staton.
Here.
Freeholder Williams.
Here.
Vice Chairman Mirabella.
Present.
Chair Kowalski.
Here.
Chair, you have 9 freeholders present.
Thank you. Would you please lead us in prayer and salute to the flag? Please rise.
Humbly, we ask God, the giver of peace and the lover of charity, to give the entire family of nations true agreement with his will, and to grant the light of his spirit on all who work for justice and peace. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, would you please read the statement of compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act?
The chair wishes to announce that pursuant to the requirements of New Jersey statutes annotated Title 10, Chapter 4, Section 10 of the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting of the Board of Chosen Freeholders, the County of Union, has been given by mailing the annual meeting schedule for the year 2019, along with periodic changes necessitated by circumstances to the newspapers circulating within the County of Union who are designated to receive such notice, and by posting the annual meeting schedule for the year 2019 in the Administration Building, and further, by filing the annual meeting schedule for the year 2019 with the Office of the County Clerk.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to call upon Vice Chairman Mirabella and Freeholder Rebecca Williams to make a resolution presentation to the winners of this year's 2019 UC STEP project idea, which addresses suicide prevention. Freeholders?
All right. Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. I also want to recognize Deputy County Manager Wagner to come forward, and Dina Mazzaros to come forward too as the project coordinator for this effort for us, UC STEP. I would also want to acknowledge the other freeholders who were there that day for UC STEP, and that's Freeholder Granados and Freeholder Hudak. I think other freeholders were there in and out of the day too, so I always appreciate that support for this great program. I want to talk a little bit about the winning ideas for the program this year, and we've been doing this program for, I guess it's about 5 years or 6 years now, and it really came out of now Assemblywoman Carter's idea when she was chairwoman to take the best parts of Union County Means Business, merge them with some leadership opportunities, and then throw in community service at the same time. And it's been a great program. I've been delighted to be a part of it. Freeholder Williams has jumped in, really helping us out too. So it's a great thing. I say it brings the best and brightest of Union County together for most of a day, I guess, a school day worth of activities, and it's just an honor to be there and be part of it. As you know, Madam Chair, UC STEP is a youth leadership program that provides high school students with the opportunity to create a countywide community service program. Each year, the students themselves select the winning program. This year, we asked for their ideas on the theme of suicide prevention. We were so impressed by the responses that we decided to support 2 ideas and combine them into one program to make an even bigger impact in our community. One idea is a 5K fundraiser called Strive K. The other idea is Link Up for Life, a display of linked together messages. The chain of messages provides a visual representation of support for anyone who is struggling. Together, these 2 ideas have become our 2019 UC STEP countywide community service program called Link Up for Life 5K. Through this fundraising effort, and the display of messages, we hope to demonstrate that Union County residents are aware of and care about supporting families, friends, and strangers alike who need some guidance in troubling times. We have already set a date of April 13th for the event, and we will have more details on that shortly. On behalf of this Freeholder Board, and all of us support this, I'd like to congratulate the students of the orange and blue teams for the winning ideas. I'd also like to commend all of the UC STEP participants for taking on a difficult problem and raising the awareness of suicide prevention in the community. So I'm going to call up the folks that are here, the students that are here from their different teams. And the way it's set up is they're really, we don't try to bunch up teams with students from the same school. The idea is to mix it up and work together across the county, urban, suburban, top of the hill, bottom of the hill, all of that, work together to come up with this program, and it really has proven to be a terrific idea. So these are the orange team, and these are the students who are the blue team. Okay. Okay. So some students are coming in too. We'll catch up with them. So as I call your name, please come forward, and we'll line up here, and then we'll take a picture at the end, and maybe one of the students will be brave enough to talk a little bit about their program. I see a lot of heads going like this. Not that scary. Is this the blue team here? All right, so the orange team. So you guys know if you were on orange. Brooke Arnold. First on the list. Cynthia Diaz. Tiffany Gonzalez. Special claps in the third row. Estelyn Jaden. Kayla Sue. Michelle Kaminsky. Grace Lowell. Sean McMahon. And Isabella Pinto. Do we miss anybody else from the orange team that's here? All right. So now we're moving on to the blue team. Justin Cabali. Antoinette Chango. Samuel Dorlean. Manuela Lopez. Let's give Freeholder Williams a hand. Erin Linsky. Is that wrong? I'm sorry if I pronounce the names wrong. Eduardo Martinez. Emily Swerkowski. Is that close? Close enough. Okay, do we miss any blue team members? Come on. Yep. Andres Rodriguez. Give a hand too, bro. Wait, hold on, don't worry. All right, so I'm going to open up to the orange team first. Is there anybody that would like to talk a little bit about the process and what it took to come up with your idea? I'm going to pick one of you, so I hope somebody will say. Yeah, come on forward. Good job volunteering.
When we came up with our idea, we all came together and thought about what does it mean when somebody thinks about going through stuff like this, and we all thought about how one person affects another, and that when the chain is broken, it's no longer the same, and each person impacts the other, and that's why we created the chains.
Well done. How about the blue team?
Spokesman for the blue tree.
You look ready. You look ready.
Pushy girl here.
So our program was called Strive K, and basically we would have a 5K race, and there would be different types of workshops to help people who are struggling or thinking about like suicide. And then at the end there would be a Strive K race, well 5K race, and there would be like food trucks and like the whole community will come and support.
All right, let's give a little extra hand for our 2 volunteer speakers. Good job. All right, Jimmy, we're going to take a picture. All right, you're
Hands
going to
for
do it
the
over
pusher.
there? Okay. Jimmy will guide you to where to line up, and we'll take a nice picture. I do see there's some administrators in the audience, too. If you want to take a picture with your student from your school, we appreciate when the administrators come out for this. And after we take this one picture, we'd be happy to take a couple other ones. So I know you're out there. Don't be shy. Grab your student, and we'll take a picture, okay?
Congrats. You're welcome.
So thanks to all the students and your families and teachers. And if you will,
Pardon me, Chair.
oh, yes.
We have
yeah.
one additional Team Orange student, Miguel, who
Okay.
just arrived. He had a little trouble getting up here. So let's give Miguel as well a round of applause.
Melanie? I was gonna bump it out.
Okay, so thanks to all of you, and we look forward to seeing what you do with your projects. We are going to continue with the rest of our business of this meeting as soon as these pictures are finished. All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Security's number one around here.
Well done.
I'm not very good at reading names.
Thank you about the
I
help.
learned
too.
that lesson the hard way.
I think they're already enrolled in everything.
I tried to really track that name. There's real quick.
And it's good because it's her and her other sister and her brother all registered. They're all going to EC. The whole family of UCC.
Give me the list.
That's why I sign every letter myself.
What's up?
Okay, do we have our freeholders back?
You are.
Clerk of the board, you ready to proceed? Okay. May I have a motion to approve communications?
So moved, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
You're
Moved by
welcome.
the vice chairman and seconded by Freeholder Hudak. Clerk of the board, please call the roll.
Freeholder Estrada.
Yes on communications.
Freeholder Garrettson. Freeholder Granados.
Aye.
Freeholder Hudak.
Aye.
Freeholder Palmieri Muedad.
Yes.
Freeholder Staton.
Yes.
Freeholder Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chairman Mirabella.
Aye.
And Chair Kowalski.
Yes.
Chair, you have 9 votes in the affirmative.
Thank you. Clerk of the board, would you please read the ordinance for adoption of tonight, number 804, 2019?
Ordinance number 804-2019, an ordinance to modify the Union County District Solid Waste Management Plan to include the Waste Management of New Jersey, Inc. facilities in Elizabeth, New Jersey as the county's designated facilities to which solid waste types 13, 13C, 23, and 27 are directed for disposal. 2, incorporate the solid waste disposal services agreement by and between the Union County Utilities Authority and Waste Management of New Jersey, Inc. for the provision of disposal services for solid waste types 13, 13C, 23, and 27. And 3, direct all solid waste types 13, 13C, 23, and 27 to the Waste Management of New Jersey, Inc. facilities in Elizabeth, New Jersey for disposal pursuant to regulatory waste flow control.
Thank you, clerk. At this time, I'll open up the meeting to the public for the purpose of commenting on ordinance number 804-2019 only. Anyone wishing to speak, kindly state your name and town of residence. All right, seeing no one, I will formally close this portion of the meeting. Freeholder Hudak, would you please move ordinance number 804, 2019 for final reading and adoption?
Thank you, Chair. I wish to move ordinance number 804-2019 for final reading and authorize the clerk of the board to advertise same in accordance with the law.
May we have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Vice Chairman Mirabella. Motion made by Freeholder Hudak. Clerk of the board, please call the roll.
Freeholder Estrada.
Yes.
Freeholder Garrettson.
Yes.
Freeholder Granados.
Aye.
Freeholder Hudak.
Aye.
Freeholder Palmieri Muedad.
Yes.
Freeholder Staton.
Yes.
Freeholder Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chairman Mirabella.
Aye.
And Chair Kowalski.
Yes.
Chair, you have 9 votes in the affirmative.
Thank you. Clerk, would you please read the ordinance by title for bond ordinance numbered 805-2019?
Ordinance number 805-2019. Bond ordinance to amend the following bond ordinances previously adopted by the Board of Chosen Freeholders of the County of Union, State of New Jersey. 1, bond ordinance number 752-2013, adopted on August 22nd, 2013, as previously amended by bond ordinance number 760-2014, adopted on October 9th, 2014, and bond ordinance number 786-2017, adopted on August 17th, 2017. 2, bond ordinance number 759-2014, adopted on September 11th, 2014, as previously amended by bond ordinance number 786-2017, adopted on August 17th, 2017. 3, bond ordinance number 776-2016, adopted on August 18th, 2016. And 4, bond ordinance number 787-2017, adopted on August 17, 2017.
Thank you. Vice Chairman Mirabella, would you please move ordinance number 805, 2019 for first reading?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I will move ordinance number 805, 2019 for first reading and authorize the clerk of the board to advertise the same in accordance with the law. The public hearing and final reading will be scheduled to be held on February 14th, 2019.
May we have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Freeholder Williams. Motion by Vice Chairman Mirabella. Clerk of the board, please call the roll.
Freeholder Estrada.
Yes.
Freeholder Garrettson.
Yes.
Freeholder Granados.
Aye.
Freeholder Hudak.
Aye.
Freeholder Palmieri Muedad.
Yes.
Freeholder Stanton.
Yes.
Freeholder Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chairman Mirabella.
Aye.
And Chair Kowalski.
Yes.
Chair, you have 9 votes in the affirmative.
Thank you. This meeting is open to the public for the purpose of commenting on resolutions being offered for adoption only. Kindly state your name and town of residence for the record and the resolution to which you're referring, and keep to the 5-minute time limit. So if anyone would like to speak on any of the resolutions? Seeing no one, I will formally close this portion of the meeting and move towards, may I have a motion to adopt resolutions 2019-52 through 2019-109?
So moved, Madam
Second.
Chair.
Moved by Vice Chair Mirabella, seconded by Freeholder Granados. Clerk of the board, please call the roll.
Freeholder Estrada.
Yes.
Freeholder Garrettson. Freeholder Granados.
Aye.
Freeholder Hudak.
Aye.
Freeholder Palmieri Muedad.
Yes. Yes.
You have the,
Yes.
with the, for the resolutions.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. I vote yes on all of the resolutions with the exception of resolution number 2019-65, where I'm going to be abstaining.
Thank you. Freeholder Staton.
Yes to all.
Freeholder Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chairman Mirabella.
Aye.
And Chair Kowalski.
Yes.
Chair, you have 9 votes in the affirmative with all resolutions with the exception of Resolution 2019-65. We have 8 votes in the affirmative and 1 abstention.
Thank you. And now we will open the meeting to the public for the purpose of commenting on any governmental issue that a member of the public feels may be of concern to the residents of Union County. Kindly state your name and town of residence for the record and keep to the 5-minute time limit.
So was that name and address?
No, just name and town is good.
My name is Ray Licata. I live in Cranford. I'm speaking about the proposed cell tower at the Union County campus in Cranford. There's a 140-foot monopole tower that's being proposed, and also a distributed antenna system being proposed. So to back up a second, years ago, the campus said that they had a problem with receiving cell coverage in their buildings. They have 7 buildings, kind of like this. It's like big concrete building, probably full of steel, and no surprise, they can't get cell reception in there. So they went out for proposals, and they got responses. And the responses were very typical, because this happens all the time. Whether it's a mall or a school or a building like this, you do something called a distributed antenna system, a DAS system. So those are little antennas that go all around. You need like an antenna on the roof, and then you put all these antennas inside the building, and you get cell reception. Sometimes you can do what's called an ODAS. If there's interference outside the buildings, you can put a couple of those little antenna systems outside the buildings. That's all you need. You also need to get reception to your building. If you're in a valley or you're in an area that doesn't get enough reception, you can't just put the little guys inside the building. You need something on the top of the building or another way to get reception into the building. The college campus at UCC can get that reception. They can put antennas on top of their roof. They say they don't have enough room. I should say they don't say. They've punted it over to Verizon. Verizon says that it doesn't appear to be enough room. Now, there's also plans for them to build a new parking garage, so they could put more antennas on top of that or any other buildings, because there are plans to expand that campus. But what they're doing instead is not waiting for those other buildings or even looking into alternatives, like instead of using antennas, they can use an internet connection, and that will provide cell service to the buildings. And then within the buildings, they have the DAS. So they're not going with either of those. What they're going to do is do the DAS, but they also want to put a 140-foot tower up. Now, if you look at their language, and they have it all over the place, whether it's in a proposal or a resolution, it's intentionally confusing. It's something only a lawyer could have written. They say, oh, there's a problem in the buildings, but then they make these very vague references to not only outside the buildings, but the entire campus and even the surrounding areas. They go so far as to talk about that they need to build a 140-foot cell tower so that they can provide cell coverage all the way down to the train station in Cranford. Now, you know, this is an educational institution. Why are they concerned about providing cell coverage to residents in Cranford all the way down to the train station? They're you know, the answer is, and I'm sure everyone knows what the answer is, it's money. So the campus is going to get $34,000 a year for 25 years. And, you know, Verizon is probably going to sell it anyway. They have a business plan of building these things and then selling them. I think 5 years ago, they sold 11,000 of these towers to American Tower Corporation for 11,000 for $5 billion. So this is part of their plan. But, you know, we don't, the UCC is not in the business of, they don't need to provide coverage, just like they're not fixing our potholes. They don't need to provide coverage to the surrounding areas. They only need the DAS and nothing more. And they have, you know, the cell tower is going to be 230 feet from the nearest residence on Princeton Road. 5 houses down from that first house, there's young kids in that house. Last year, there were 2 studies. These were the first two long-term studies to confirm that cell phone and cell tower radiation has health effects. So if the Ramazzini study and the NTP study, one was a cell phone, one was a cell tower, they both confirmed that you will.
Whoops, sorry. I don't know if the mic cut off, but your time is up. If someone else wants to continue, that's fine.
Hello. I am Chemda Mindy Kipnis. I live on Colby Lane in Cranford. I came before this board a few years ago when UCC wanted to cut down 700 trees in the woods that are between the college parking lot and Colby Lane. They wanted to build a sports field at the time. The board helped the neighborhood maintain its character by offering UCC an alternative site for the sports field, and for that, I and many of our neighbors thank you. I have lived at this location since 2004, and I've lived in Union County for 34 years. My husband is a lifelong Union County resident. We, along with many neighbors in Cranford and Westfield, enjoy the character of the neighborhood. It's a quiet residential area near Echo Lake Park, Nomahegan Park, and Lenape Parks, with nearby schools, young families, and lots of retirees. UCC has contracted with Verizon to install a cell tower adjacent to the same woods on an elevated piece of land that's already 20 feet high. The trees in these woods are approximately 70 feet high. The trees are adjacent to Princeton Road and are between the parking lot and Colby Lane. The proposed tower will be right near these 70-foot trees, and it's going to be 130 to 140 feet, double the height. Most cell towers, when I drive up and down the highways, you see them on highways, you see them on commercial properties, not near these kinds of residential areas. This is going to impact the entire north side of Cranford and Westfield. Residents, drivers through the neighborhood, drivers on Orchard Street, probably even Springfield Road, folks visiting the parks, and neighbors will be impacted. The cell tower will be less than 1,000 feet from close to 300 homes in just Cranford, even more if you include Westfield. The Westfield Washington Elementary School and the Cranford Brookside Elementary School are really close, nearby this central area where the college is. It is estimated that the cell tower's installation can decrease values of affected homes up to 20% decrease. I am asking each of you, as freeholders and as Union County residents yourselves, to consider these and other ways, these issues, and find other ways that this cell tower proposal can be remediated. Please help us to keep UCC as a good neighbor. You've helped us before. I beg of you, help us again. And thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yeah.
Mike Norman, Cranford. Many years ago, I came before the Freeholders to help stop the field being built, and you helped find an alternative solution with the college. I'm asking for help again in getting the college to make the right choice. Cranford and Westfield residents do not need a 130 to 150-foot cell tower in a residential community. The contract was signed in October of 2018. I gave you all a copy of it. But we must do everything possible to stop this from going forward. Union County College must stop and be a good neighbor to our community and not build a cell tower. Thanks.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Marietta Horn. I live on Princeton Road in Cranford. And my question for all of you is, why is Union County College being allowed to circumvent public opinion and safety and allow unfettered commercial development on public property? Under any other circumstance, we all know this kind of development would not be allowed under local planning and zoning guidelines, which would restrict anything like this in such close proximity to established residential property. You're well aware that the tax-paying residents in the immediate and surrounding neighborhoods vehemently oppose the construction of the tower in question. If constructed where we believe it will be, the tower will be approximately 500 feet from my bedroom. Even closer to my neighbor's house, even closer to one of my neighbor's house. Can any of you assure me, us, that such close proximity to concentrated microwaves will not create an unsafe condition for myself, my family, and the families next door to me? What about the negative effect this will have on the market values of my home? I invite each and every one of you to visit me at 42 Princeton Road and see for yourself what I'm talking about. The ethical and, God help us, moral lapse demonstrated by the president and governing body of UCC cannot be allowed to damage our community without our voices being heard. As our elected representatives, you must lead the way to a sensible resolution of this conflict. UCC is exploiting a loophole that allows the dismissal of local zoning rules to allow this monstrosity to be built. I have some questions that I'd like you to consider. Who realizes the real benefit here? UCC at approximately $30,000 a year in land rent income. To put that in perspective, that's pretty much equal to the sum of my property's taxes and that of one plus one of my closest neighbors. That amount doesn't cover the basic salary and benefits of an average non-academic UCC employee. Again, when you contrast that with the negative impact on property values and the safety issues ignored as they pertain to me and my family, where is the real value here? And what don't we know about the relationship between the president of the college, the governing board, and the directors of Verizon? As stewards of the public trust, we expect you to intervene on the citizens' behalf and urge a sensible resolution to this conflict, which, as it now stands, begs for closer scrutiny. I personally believe there is more to this than meets the eye. I believe there are relationships that have not been made transparent, and if brought to light, will have consequences much more serious than ethics violations. I believe that it would not be difficult to determine this would not be difficult to determine if you know where to look and look closely enough. As it is right and proper, you, the freeholders, can put the brakes on this thing and stop it completely. Please do so. We trust you to act in the best interests of the people you have been elected to serve. Thank you very much for your careful consideration of what I and we have had to say here today. Thank you.
Thank you. And if any of the people who've spoken tonight want to give a copy of their statement to the clerk, then we can make sure that we have it right in the record.
Also, Big J, if I may.
Yes.
I would like to get the name of the reports, because I have looked through reports, and those two that you mentioned, either they're 2018 reports, but I didn't come across either one of those names. And by the way, none of the ones that I read were pinpoints, the reality of making it being an issue. And we're not supposed to engage in this, so I'll see you afterwards if you're going to be around and to try to get the reports, because I'm really interested in finding that out.
Okay, Freeholder?
Thank you.
Sure. If there are no further comments, we'll close this portion of the meeting, and I thank the people who came to speak with us tonight. And we will move to freeholder comments and start with Freeholder Garrettson.
Sure. Good evening, everyone. I am so excited to be back. This is our first official regular meeting as a full board. Since our reorganization meeting, I didn't get a chance to congratulate. I said I was going to bank my time, so here I go. But I want to congratulate Al Mirabella as our vice chair, freeholders, Andrea Staten, got that right, Kim Udad and Rebecca Williams. We are now, our 9-member board is now one body and one board, so I'm just so excited to be able to work with everyone this year. I also want to and look forward to working all the staff. I think it's going to be a fantastic year of a lot of good things to come. And congratulations to the chair, because as I said, I banked my time last year. As elected officials, we all understand the importance of voting. We have a very exciting activity going on in the county for our young 5th to 12th graders. We have an I Voted sticker contest. We all know the importance of voting. So we just want to remind, if you have anyone in those grades, to please encourage them to participate. Voting is important. We know that those will be coming up in both June and again in November. I also wanted to take this time this evening to talk about 2 things that are very important. Last week we had Martin Luther King Day. My favorite quote, just because I want to share it, is that not everybody can be famous, but everybody can be great, because greatness is determined by service. You only need a heart full of grace and a soul generated by love to be great. I had the opportunity to have to speak at New Hope Baptist Church in Elizabeth last week. I was able to share some words. We did have Governor Murphy there, the Attorney General, and a number of other dignitaries, including my dear colleague, Freeholder Granados. And we had a wonderful time to be able to stand and represent our county. And also all the freeholders throughout the county on MLK Day understood the importance of service. And that's what greatness is all about. It's not just being elected, but it's also serving. So I just wanted to acknowledge and thank everyone for being able to really represent the county, not just in one municipality, but all throughout. I also got to go to my hometown and spend some time there on a Martin Luther King Day. But my next comment is actually about this upcoming month. February is Black History Month. I believe we have a save the date that we will have for the first time, or the first time ever. We will do a flag raising for Black History Month on February 1st at 3 p.m., I believe the time is. We have been doing some really amazing things throughout the county. We have a couple events coming up, more to come. But I do encourage and invite everyone to participate. We should have a wonderful, amazing time to recognize so many of the wonderful attributes and contributions of the Black community. So I look forward to that, and I look forward to not just February, but working together this year so that we can have such an incredible Freeholder board. So I'm excited. I can't hold it in. I also just want to recognize all of the good residents who came out tonight. We thank you for making sure that we hear your voices. It is very, very important. As Freeholder Estrada mentioned, if you do have reports that we have not seen, please share them with us. We thank you, and we will and do take your comments into consideration to do what we can. But of course, this particular contract was not signed by the Freeholder Board, and I'm sure our chairwoman or our chair will share that when she speaks. But thank you very much. Have a great night.
Thank you, Freeholder. Freeholder Palmieri Muedad.
Yes, thank you. I also want to thank the residents for coming out tonight and sharing your opinions. It's important for us to be aware of them. And I'm sorry for my voice. On Martin Luther King Day, along with attending a wonderful interfaith prayer service in my hometown of Westfield, I also attended with our chairwoman Kowalski and Freeholder Granados the farewell ceremony for the 1st Squadron 102nd Cavalry Regiment for their deployment this week. And I just wanted to wish all of them success and a safe return when they come back in 9 months. And I wanted to wish their families well while their spouses or children are gone. I am a mom of young children, so I'm always looking for things to do in my community. So I'm excited that during President's Weekend, the Trail Side is offering their February festivities program. So if you go on to our website, you can find out about the different programs that are being offered that weekend. And of course, weather permitting, you'll have an opportunity to walk along the sensory-friendly trail. The trail just received an award for excellence in design from the New Jersey Recreation and Park Association. So I'd like to congratulate anyone who contributed to that, and it's a really outstanding addition to our community. So thank you, and I'm excited to be serving on this board, and I want to thank our voters again for your faith in me and the other freeholders, and I look forward to a great year. So thank you.
Thank you, Freeholder. Freeholder Estrada?
Thank you, Madam Chair. A couple of things. In reference to the Cranford residents that are here with us this evening, I thank you very much for coming to see us today. One of the things I had not seen this contract, plus understanding that this contract is with the Union County College and not necessarily the Board of Chosen Freeholders. But tonight we've heard a tower of 130, 140, 150, maybe even more footage than that. But apparently this one here says 130. We often find, and tonight somebody made comments about the president of the college being involved with Verizon somehow or some other things. These are the kinds of problems that we face, that people come in and start talking about issues that really, I'm just amazed. Often that really works against your ideas in terms of trying to get something done. That's my opinion, by the way. I can only remember recently in the last couple of years in Summit, the city of Summit, the hospital wanted to build a heliport in top of the hospital. Now, I know that if I lived close to the hospital, yes, once in a while there'll be an emergency helicopter landing and bringing somebody who probably was in a very dire need of quick services, and could his life be saved and everything else going with it. True, it may be an inconvenience to some people, but the reality is that I think honestly, the purpose of the heliport had nothing to do with either the chair of the hospital board landing at the hospital or anything else. So we have to understand there's some realities that go along with all these decisions that are made. And by the way, in terms of the approval process, in that particular case, the process went to the state of Trenton, and actually they approved whatever had been disapproved before. So why do I make a note of that? Is it that important today to hear that? No, but you have to understand that at times some things make more sense. I'm interested in the two reports that you're talking about, because personally, the last time some people were here, they spoke about reports. I went back and read two reports, which none of them, the ones that I read, were binding that there's any danger to the, or impact to people in general. Now, I don't know that, no, sir, this is not a dialogue, folks. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. This is my time. I listen to all your time, so if you want to approach me afterwards, that's fine. But the reality is that nothing that I've seen, or unless, yes, has there been talk of potential problems? Oh, yes, for years. But so far that I have seen, the evidence does not go in that direction. Regardless of that, we don't approve of this particular contract. I just wanted to straighten the record out as far as the Verizon's cushy deal with the president of the college. I mean, that's, for me, that's just, it's really ridiculous, because unfortunately, Verizon does these kinds of deals all the times, or exchanges. Why? Because we all rely in our phones to communicate, and I would get very upset personally if I was gonna pick up my phone and not be able to talk. That concludes my comments, BJ. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Freeholder. Freeholder Staten?
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming out this evening. I can tell you 24 days in, I have hit the ground running. I'm working and learning every day, and I'm very humbled to be in this freeholder position. I'd like to thank Madam Chair and all the seasoned freeholders for their guidance and leadership. I'd like to remind everyone that January is Cervical Cancer Awareness Month, and I would like to urge all Union County residents that regular screenings are critical to prevention and early detection. Each year, approximately 12,000 women in the United States get cervical cancer, and all women are at risk. On a different note, I would like to announce that we will be holding our third annual Union County Means Business Networking Breakfast event at King University on February 20th at 8:30 a.m. This event is open to Union County business owners, managers, and entrepreneurs. This is a wonderful event. I had the opportunity of attending last year, and you won't be disappointed. For our featured guests, we are pleased to welcome Lena Cohen. She's an author, community activist, internationally known corporate trainer, and speaker. We are looking forward to a productive and informative morning. If you would like to attend, please register online at ucnj.org/UCMB. I also like to say Wednesday morning at 3 a.m., I had the opportunity to participate in the Union County Point of Time Count. We went out to look for homeless families and offer them shelter, food, clothing, and services. As a new freeholder, it was an educational experience for me. And I would like to thank the department heads, all the volunteers, the police who participated in this count. We actually had a very, very good turnout with people that came back with us and were open to receiving services. So it's always great that they're willing to come back and get the services and the help that we need. So thank you, Debbie Ann, and everyone who helped coordinate that successful event. And with that being said, thank you so much.
Thank you, Freeholder. Freeholder Granados?
Thank you, Chair. Just to make note in reference to the comments about Union County College, I know there's two sides to every story, but I know one of the main comments being by students at Union County College, by administration, by the president, is that this is a public safety issue. This isn't an issue of reference to making money, etc. I've personally been inside parts of their Union County College campus where there's no reception whatsoever. And I'm saying, willing to listen to and see all the different information you have also, without a doubt. You know, we want to listen to everybody who has comments in reference to it. But I know personally from students who I've talked to when visiting the campus, students who have made phone calls, administrators, et cetera, that this is a public safety issue, and they want to make sure that if there was ever, which there hasn't been, thankfully, ever an emergency or something was to happen within the college, they can have better communication when it gets into making contact with first responders and the local police department in certain parts of Union County College campus. And then leading into our Recycle Coach app, our county last year in April partnered up with 21 municipalities to make this service available to all residents, and I'm happy to report that we are the first and still the only county in New Jersey to have all municipalities participating in Recycle Coach. It's definitely a great resource for residents across the county who are making sure that they want to know what dates to put out recyclable trash. That's it. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Freeholder. Freeholder Williams?
Thank you, Chair. I just want to direct your attention to some additional Black History Month events that are taking place in our county in February, which is, of course, Black History Month. On Saturday, February 2nd, the organization United Youth of New Jersey will be presenting Harlem Renaissance, another Black Wall Street, at the Ritz Theater in Elizabeth. And this production explores how the cultural and intellectual movements of the Jazz Age 1920s redefined African American culture and helped to empower Black people all the way through the civil rights era of the 1960s to the present. On Saturday, February 9th, we will gather at the UCPAC in Rahway to honor Monty Brooks, lifelong Linden resident, who will be the recipient of the 7th annual Chester Holmes Humanitarian Award, and that will be followed by a concert version of the Broadway musical Ain't Misbehavin'. And then on Wednesday, February 20th, Dr. Melissa Cooper will discuss how the study of Sapelo Island culture in the early 20th century can still provide us with insights into the rise of the social sciences, Black studies movement, and land struggles of coastal Black communities. And of course, Sapelo Island is part of the Georgia Sea Islands, and the culture of the people there is the Gullah culture. You can find out more information on these Black History Month events by going to ucnj.org. And thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Freeholder. Freeholder Hudak.
Thank you, Chair. I want to start by thanking our human services staff and all the volunteers and law enforcement professionals who took part in the point-in-time count. And I want to, again, extend my gratitude because I believe we're going back into a code blue this evening as the temperature drops. And so we have, a very good team out assisting those who do not have a place to stay, as we've been enduring some bitter cold weather, and that's going to return. So thank you for all that you do. I also want to, if I could piggyback upon Freeholder Williams' comments regarding the February 9th event at the Union County Performing Arts Center. Former Councilman Monty Brooks from Linden is an educator and a coach and someone who's worked tirelessly with young people in Union County for many years, and I'm proud that we'll be honoring him, and I look forward to that event on February the 9th. It was a wonderful weekend in Union County, and I very much enjoyed attending a number of events. They had the Union County Celebrity Bartending event at in Kenilworth, in anticipation of the parade in March. And like many of my colleagues, I enjoyed attending events on the celebration of the life of Dr. Martin Luther King. I actually spent time at the Morning Star Christian Community Center in Linden for their annual celebration. It was a very cold day, but our hearts were very warm, our spirits were very enlivened, and it was a really amazing time. Lastly, I wanted to address those residents from Cranford who came here this evening, and I very much appreciate the information that you provided us, and I certainly would take a look at the lease and notice the drawings. I actually pulled up on the computer screen here with the drawing and the maps and get a bit of context of what the concern. So I certainly appreciate that. To echo some of the other comments, there certainly are two sides, and we have heard the college's position on this, and I know there's an approval process that is unique because it is a college, but I certainly will look at it. And I understand your concerns in terms of having a communication tower is that close to a residential area. I observed the city of Linden actually installed a similar tower probably about the same 500 feet away from my property in Sunnyside for emergency communication, and there are cellular towers there. So I certainly appreciate where you're coming from, and I think the one speaker who lived on Princeton Road, I certainly see how close that tower would be to your property. So your concerns in terms of the change are understandable. But to echo the comments from Freeholder Estrada, I'm not sure if we have an ability to change the college's decision to enter into this agreement. So I would, encourage you to, talk to the local zoning officials, talk to the college about your concerns. And we have heard from their public safety concerns. And to echo Freeholder Granados, I too have been into the college, at the college, and not been able to get cell phone reception. So there's certainly a balance. But I do appreciate where you're coming from, and I do appreciate the information, and we'll keep an eye on the matter as it develops. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Freeholder. Vice Chairman Mirabella?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I also had the pleasure of participating in a Martin Luther King Day service in Scotch Plains and Fanwood, and the highlight for me was the honoring of Malcolm Nettingham, a Scotch Plains resident who was a World War II soldier and a Tuskegee airman. So that was a really a pleasure. I know Mr. Nettingham over the years, just being around the community, and it was nice for him to get recognized. He's 100 and going on 101. So it was nice to see him out and about. As Freeholder Palmieri Moodhead mentioned, I too attended the Westfield Armory send-off with the chairwoman and Freeholder Granados. And there we bid farewell to the 1st Squadron, 102 Cavalry on their deployment. This squadron is made up of 250 soldiers, 120 of which are from Union County, and join all of the Freeholders in wishing them a safe return. They have a 9-month deployment to the country of Jordan, and they will be protecting borders and moving forward with their assignments. They were sharing a little bit with us when we were there. We're so proud of their commitment to serve our country, and I also join with the Freeholder to congratulate and thank the family for the sacrifices that they're going to be giving up during that period of deployment. With that in mind, I'd also like to remind our military community that our Office of Veterans Affairs is available to offer resources and guidance through our UC Hero program. UC Hero seeks to increase awareness of eligibility, entitlements, benefit programs, and services provided to our veterans in Union County by other agencies. Outreach to active duty military and their families is all part of this initiative. If you need more information, you can visit ucnj.org/UC Hero, or call the office coordinator, Jana Williams, at 908-527-4918. I also have a few comments on the Union County College debate. from the residents who came, and I also appreciate your coming here and sharing your concerns with us. I do, like Freeholder Hudak and Freeholder Granados, understand that it's a safety issue, not a monetary issue from a college standpoint. So I went into this process understanding that that was the reason behind even their opportunity to investigate this. I do also understand that it was a bid process. So anybody that's trying to, level some kind of impropriety on President McMenamin or the Union County Board, my suggestion to you, ma'am, is if you have information, you should report it to the prosecutor's office and let them look at it. If you don't, you should stop spreading those kinds of rumors, because that's what they are at this point. So I don't think it's fair to the president or the board members. If members of the community are trying to make their case, I appreciate that point. However, you have to do it in the right way, and I think Freeholder Estrada put that very well. So, I'm listening, as the other freeholders are listening, but it is a Union County College decision. But I urge the residents in that area to try to constrain their remarks to facts and not innuendo, because it's not fair. With that, Madam Chair, I'll conclude my comments.
Thank you, Vice Chairman. County Council, any comments?
No comments tonight. Thank you, Madam Chair.
County Manager?
No comments.
I also thank the Cranford residents for coming in. As you know, the college is an autonomous body. They make their own decisions. We have had some communications with them on this topic, and we'll be doing that again. I also encourage you to communicate with the college yourselves, and Ms. Jamie Siegel, who's here, can direct you as to how that's best done. I also want to thank the everyone who participated in the farewell to the troops of the Army National Guard. I have a nephew who's a Navy pilot and has been deployed far away for many months at a time, and I know the strain it puts on the family, especially if they're little ones. So it's not only the service people, but their families who are sacrificing for us. So I just want to extend my thanks to all of them, and to Ms. Williams and everyone who participated in that event. And thanks, of course, to our Human Services Department and all the volunteers who helped with the point-in-time count. We know this is a rough time for federal workers. There's almost 500 federal employees who live here in Union County. And Union County, we're trying to lend a hand to these people during the partial government shutdown. And to assist in these efforts, we've set up a web page with links to resources for those in need and suggestions for making donations. Food insecurity is the biggest issue facing workers without a paycheck. If you would like to donate food, please consider making a cash donation to the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. The cash can go a lot farther than food, because as we know, food can be perishable. We have also been made aware that there's a great need for diapers and feminine hygiene products, and drop-off locations have been set up for those items. So please visit the county website at ucnj.org for more details, or call our public information line at 877-424-1234. Also, related to the shutdown, SNAP recipients, that's food assistance, should be aware of false rumors that have been saying that they must use or spend their allotment before the end of January. SNAP recipients should disregard these rumors and be assured that they may be able to use their EBT card allotments to make food purchases until the amount runs out. Federal employees who would like to enroll in SNAP may do so at county offices throughout February if the shutdown resumes, and we certainly hope that it's going to be brought to an end as soon as humanly possible. For a list of offices, you can go to our website, ucnj.org, and that's about 40,000 people here in Union County who are affected with the SNAP. So that's ucnj.org, or call the county for more information. And I thank the new freeholders for their participation in today's meeting, and I'll call for a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Madam Chair.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.